Hello, hello. Welcome to Simply You 100 podcast. My name is Fadzai and I am your host. I just want to say thank you so much for tuning into this podcast whereby we encourage each other to build our own personal relationship with the Lord. So with each topic that is discussed on this podcast, the main aim is to encourage each other to build our own personal relationship with the Lord. Let's get into today's episode. The topic is, what do you see? So, I was watering the lawn one late afternoon, but I noticed from afar that parts of the lawn looked so green, and I said to myself, in that case, I am only going to water the parts which look like they are in need of water. But as I got closer to those parts which I had discounted, I realized that the grass wasn't that green. It was a faded green which was in need of water, and also upon closer inspection, the roots needed water. I ended up watering the whole lawn. So it got me thinking, as believers, how many times have we made conclusions based on assumptions on just what we think, but not on what God has said? Different scenarios. We see someone going through hard times and automatically think they might not be in right standing with God. Possibly they were well off before, but now they are struggling, and we start thinking they might have sinned against God. My question to you, is that what God has said to you? In others, you have been told what to do, be it in church, and then you say to yourself, oh, they only want to benefit. It is only for their good. How about you ask rather than assuming? There are many other things. If you are being honest with yourself as you are listening right now, you have just based your conclusion on what you think. Jehovah has instructed you to do this, but then you say, even though God once said to me that I should do this, but with the way the world is going, with the way the economy is going, I don't think I should continue doing this, but I should do things this certain way because everyone else is doing it. You think you are seeing it and you think that is the most fruitful thing for your life. So you have based on what you are seeing, what's happening, but living what God has said and not asking what God is saying. The scripture says in Mark 8, New King James Version, verse 22 to 25, it says, Then he, that is Jesus, came to Bethsaida, and they brought a blind man to him and begged him to touch him. So he took the blind man by the hand and led him out of the town. And when he had spit on his eyes and put his hands on him, he asked him if he saw anything. And he looked up and said, I see men like trees walking. Then he put his hands on his eyes again and made him look up. And he was restored and saw everyone clearly. Then he sent him away to his house, saying, Neither go into the town nor tell anyone in the town. That's the end of the scripture that I'm reading into today's episode. As we are going about living this life, we need our eyes to see. I'm not just referring to the physical eyes. They need to see. Our spiritual eyes need to see. There is a lot that is happening in the world. The blind man saw men like trees walking. He was not seeing properly until the Lord put his hands upon him again. We need to be praying to the Lord to open our eyes so that we might see. You cannot really be a Christian, a believer, living this life in today without your eyes being opened. You need Jehovah to open your eyes. You need wisdom from the Lord. James 1 verse 5, King James Version says, "If any of you lack wisdom, let him ask of God, that giveth to all men liberally, and upbraideth not, and it shall be given him." My brothers, my sisters, as you are listening today, I have just come with a reminder that we need to see what God is saying. We need to see things the way God is seeing it. We need to see people the way Jehovah is seeing people, so that we are able to love on those people as Jehovah loves them. We need to see. You and I need to see. We need Jehovah to open our eyes. We need to be aware of our surroundings. The people that you are hanging around with, are they being genuine? Or they have secret hatred, secret agenda for your life? But how will you know if you are not seeing? How will you know if you are not asking of Jehovah to open your eyes so that you might see? I don't know about you, but have you ever gone to a place and then you just see, things are not as what they seem here? Yes, they have called for this gathering that we're supposed to gather for the Lord, but it's not just right. Well, you'll not be able to know that if you cannot see. So my brothers, my sisters, more than ever, we need to see what God is saying. We need to see what God is seeing so that we know how to navigate life. And as being said in the scripture, James 1 verse 5, let us ask of wisdom from God. For me, I always ask for wisdom because it's never enough. We need it all the time. Not my wisdom, but wisdom from God. Share with your family and friends. Until next time, it is bye for now.